Part 2 of our Rovos Rail Heritage Day chase, and we visit Sandstone Heritage Trust and Umgeni Steam Railway.
Well, a very Merry Christmas to you. For today's episode, we continue our railway roundabout.
At the end of the video, James and I have a big reveal and we'll be discussing our channel plans for 2022. Let's do this.
The usual Cherry Festival had not been confirmed for Vicksburg in 2021 due to the COVID-19 pandemic, but a number of local establishments were open over the weekend, and together with Sandstone Estates, they hosted a smaller event for the public. However, this was also a good opportunity for Sandstone to run their latest and much anticipated restoration, that of modified class NGG 16A number 155. Number 155 saw service as a normal class NGG 16 in the South African Railways, but in 1989, under the ownership of the South Natal-based Alfred County Railways, number 155 and sister class number 141 were rebuilt using technology similar to that of David Wardale's famous Red Devil. The Class NGG 16 rebuilding incorporated a gas-producing combustion system, LEMPOR exhausts, an improved spark arrestor, lightweight multi-ring articulated piston valves, improved valve events, and improved mechanical lubrication. The rebuilding was done by the late mechanical engineer Phil Girdlestone. Number 155 and 141 arrived at Sandstone Estates in 2002, where they were placed in safe storage. In early 2020, restoration work began on 155 with power units from number 141 being used, making it a hybrid of sorts. The power units from number 141 kindly donated by the Mortimer family to allow 155 to be rebuilt as a complete 16A. Back to the 19th of November, and former class NGG 16 number 88, also formerly of Alfred County Railways, was the main star of the show. The 2-foot narrow gauge railway at Sandstone Estates runs for some 26 kilometers. From Grootdraai in the east, located right on Lesotho's doorstep, the line then runs westwards to the main farm and main depot at Hoekfontein, and onwards via Mooihoek to Vailima siding, where there is a large loop at Vailima village. For this occasion, however, number 88 with its 10 coaches would run regular trips between Hoekfontein and Grootdraai, as well as Hoekfontein and Mooihoek. The crew for number 88 comprising mostly of members from Kwabega, formerly Port Elizabeth, from the narrow gauge group, the Apple Express. Late on Friday afternoon, number 155 made a brief but exciting cameo, as it double-headed with number 88 for a trip to Grootdraai and back. Sadly, due to some teething problems, as expected after a lengthy restoration, number 155 would not be able to run again during the event. Overall, despite the COVID-19 pandemic, the event was well supported by the public, and hopefully in 2022, the event will continue again.
In our previous episode of Chasing Rovos, we had to call it a day at Germiston Yard due to the poor light conditions. As with the last time, we left home early on Heritage Day, the actual day of the race. We made our way to Driemanskap, which is around 13 kilometers from Heidelberg and one of the crew changing points for Transnet Freight Rail. Upon arrival, we found the train parked on one of the yard tracks. We met up with some Facebook friends, namely Hanneke Skuman, who is the sister of Oom Yapi from the previous episode. We took a few shots together and some shots of the train. We set out along the service road to a spot further down the line, walked under a culvert and set up for our shots. Members of the aeroplane club came flying past and circled our area while the train was performing a few maneuvers, namely placing the diesel loco at the rear of the train, the star of the show being the steam loco after all. Some Transnet Freight Rail goods trains came through, and then at around 11:15 the race began. Men and women with their machines setting out for Heidelberg. We ran under the culvert to our vehicle and set back along the service road to get on the main road to Heidelberg. There is a bridge just outside of Heidelberg, where we and a few others tried to capture a shot of the train entering the station. There were also motorcycles and old-timey cars scrambling around, like walking back in time almost. The train would now stand in the station while passengers disembarked and people from all around town came to have a look. The passengers and people of the town could walk to the Heidelberg Museum, which is located a few hundred meters away at the original Heidelberg station. The tracks were realigned some decades ago to improve track geometry and allow an increase of speed of trains. In episode 3 we covered some railway history, and that same line from Durban eventually joined here and opened on 27 April 1895. Later in the afternoon, the loco ran around and turned on the triangle. We left Heidelberg and set up with the bridge we mentioned earlier in view. More Transnet freight rail trains came through, and just before the light was gone, the Rovos rail train departed for Germiston Yard. Scrambling to our vehicle, we raced to a spot just outside of Driemanskop for a few last shots of the day. On Saturday morning, James and I made our way to Germiston Yard, where we expected to meet the train. When we got there, everything was silent and there was no movement or sound besides the birds. Security staff approached us and we inquired if the train already left. They told us there were no trains there the previous evening, which puzzled us. After a few calls, we found out the train was staged at Union Station overnight. James and I charged across Germiston and managed to get a few shots before the train departed. There were a few spots we tried to catch the train along the line, finally ending up in Germiston Yard again. With all the delays faced thus far, we were not sure how long we would need to hang around. We decided that we would end our chase here at Germiston, as the loco would still need to be serviced with water and coal before departing on the last leg towards Capital Park, Pretoria. It's quite commendable how the Rovos rail staff overcome various challenges to keep the train running with the current state the country's infrastructure is in. That brings us to the end of our chase of the special Rovos Rail Heritage Day train.
On the weekend of the 27th and 28th of November 2021, we visited Umgeni Steam Railway in Durban for the usual end-of-month service. Situated on the old Durban main line between Cato Ridge and Booth, Umgeni Steam Railway run regular passenger trips between Kloof and Nchanga. The hour-long trip in either direction showcases some of South Africa's most spectacular scenery, in particular the Valley of 1000 Hills. During the trip, the train is subject to some of the steepest gradients and sharpest curves in South Africa, which are expertly dealt with by Umgeni's footplate crew. Added to that are the unpredictable weather conditions the train has to go through, as we would experience. From a rainy departure in Kloof to a sunny arrival in Nchanga, anything and everything can happen on this historic line. Formed by the Railway Society of Southern Africa in 1982, Umgeni Steam Railway was originally located at the Umgeni Power Station in New Germany. Soon afterwards, their base would move to Pinetown and eventually to their permanent home, now at Nchanga. They are a non-profit organization run entirely by volunteers, with approximately 10 locomotives, 50 coaches and a variety of goods wagons in their care. Umgeni Steam Railway take great pride in restoring and maintaining South Africa's railway history, and for most of the COVID pandemic were the only operational Cape Gauge club in the country. Currently, Umgeni Steam Railway has ex-South African Railways Class 19D number 2685 in excellent operating order. Number 2685, affectionately known as Wesley, was built in the late 1930s by the Borsig Locomotive Works in Berlin, Germany. It is hoped that in 2022, number 2685 will have sister class 3BR number 1486 in Steam 2. Overall, we had a great time, from meeting some old friends and making new ones. We can't wait to head back soon. You can help keep Umgeni Steam Railway on track by booking your trip today at a really affordable price for you and your family. And now for some really exciting news. We are happy to announce our new adventure, Stimela Photographic Events. More than just a couple of railway enthusiasts, we are a family of creatives dedicated to specializing in promoting and supporting South Africa's railway heritage and operating companies through photography. We are committed to run value for money photographic events. Our passion for such events does not only come from the chance to capture the railways, but is fueled by the inspiring photos captured by fellow photographers. We believe our success as a team comes from working together. Teamwork makes the dream work. If you're looking to capture awesome railway pictures, then we'd love to hear from you. With our first event scheduled for April 2022, keep an eye out on our channel and social media pages for how you can book your spot.
Thank you to all our viewers and subscribers for your support thus far. We thoroughly enjoy making videos for you. Your likes and comments really encourage us. This is our last video for 2021 and we'll be taking a break until the end of January. We plan on focusing and introducing model railway news, especially in the context of the South African market. We have already been in contact with a few people to visit their layouts and we'll show you what they have modeled and built. We are planning to build our own small model railway step by step that you would be able to build as well. Last but not least, as you have just seen, we are launching our own photographic events company called Stimela Photographic Events. For our overseas friends, Stimela is the isiZulu word for train. We will continue with the photographic tips and show you our various experiences on the railways. For now, we plan to keep our schedule the same, namely a new episode every 2 weeks. We look forward to seeing you on the flip side. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. As you can see, in 2022, we're not planning on stopping. We're going to bring you more photography tips, more model railways, and more railways and operations.
Please remember to like, subscribe, and comment down below.
The signals that proceed,
The platform's clear.
You may depart.